reviewing every episode of Ben 10 Season 3. Ben 10,000. Ben and Gwen travel into the future and meet their adult selves. The future version of Ben, while experienced, has grown distant from his family and values that matter. Meanwhile, Dr. Animo reanimates as a giant Yeti, another nemesis Vilgax, and reanimates him, dragging Ben into a mess of future stakes. Thankfully, young Ben is able to snap his old self back to reality and make him not a buzzkill. One of my personal favorite episodes of the original series. It's a strong opener. I love the alien designs and how Ben calls his future self out. Also, Gwen being a sorceress is great foreshadowing in hindsight. At this point, it's very common knowledge that she becomes a witch, basically, but it's only thrown in your face here. Also, Grandpa Max makes you both depressed and so happy at the same time. 9 out of 10. Midnight Madness. Ben comes under a spell of a hypnotist with alien assistance, which messes his usual hero routine up. It's such a whatever episode, but weirdly enough, you need to watch this for the series finale, which I truly will never get. So 5 out of 10. A Change of Face. Charmcaster's back, thank God, and tries to swap bodies with Ben, but ends up swapping with Gwen. Charmcaster's always a win. She has been a favorite of mine forever. I love that Gwen kind of screws over her inmates over them, and then Charmcaster gets her ass kicked later in the episode. I'm not a huge fan of body swap episodes, but they're cute and harmless, so 7 out of 10. Merry Christmas. While driving through the desert, the Tennyson encounter a Winterland anomaly. Grandpa Max ends up becoming Santa, and Ben and Gwen end up becoming elves in this surreal holiday scenario. No, I don't like it. This is weird. It's uncanny and not in a good way. I never watched this. 3 out of 10. Ben Wolf. The Tennysons stop up by land where Ben tangles with a werewolf and himself starts turning into one after it scratches the Omnitrix. Okay, so here's the thing about this episode. This episode holds a special place in my heart because it's another episode that we'll get into way later, and these are my first 2 episodes that I ever watched of the Ben 10 mythos. So this episode starts off the main storyline of this season, that being the Halloween monsters. We also meet Kai, who becomes important literally 3 whole shows later. She really said, "I like you as a wolf better than a human." That's insane to say to somebody. 7 out of 10. Game over. Ben and Gwen get trapped in a video game, Sumo Slammers, and must cooperate with the game character to escape back to real life. This is the most underrated Ben 10 episode of all time. I love the trope where characters get trapped in video games. The designs for everyone is so cool. Definitely one of my most rewatched episodes. 9 out of 10. Let me have this. Super Alien Hero Buddy Adventures. Banger after banger, what can I say? At a Hollywood studio theme park, Ben discovers that his alien form's been ripped off and turned into cheesy network cartoons. We meet Kangaroo Commando, and Ben fanboying is cute. This is just another fun episode that you can't hate. 8 out of 10. Under Wraps. On a farm, the Tennysons run into a meteor-powered mummy that can turn living beings into monsters. Gwen uses her magic in her hazmat suit, which is amusing because it backfires, but this episode is kind of just I think the mummy is the worst alien of the Halloween bunch, so 6 out of 10. The Unnaturals. Ben's Little League team faces off against a robot team targeting the US president. Baseball episode. It's fun and harmless. 6 out of 10. Monster Weather. A weather catastrophe episode. I do not care for this episode. Let's get to the good stuff. 3 out of 10. The Return. The season arc culminates as we meet Dr. Victor as we discover that he is an alien trying to make a plan to engulf the whole world in darkness and turn everyone into the monsters that from the Mummy episode. But it's revealed that a top 10 Ben 10 alien villain returns. Ghost Freak is back and better than ever in a great cliffhanger by this episode. Be afraid of the dark. The arc concludes as Ben battles Ghost Freak and Max and Gwen and fight in space. Ghost Freak is defeated by the sun in a very fun and epic finale. However, the Tennysons definitely should have died. Cannonball clutches up because he's the GOAT and crashes like a meteor down to Earth from space. 9 out of 10, Halloween's over and Cannonball's the GOAT. The Visitor. This episode's important for 2 reasons. We find out that Max had game in his day as an alien comes to visit him, and we meet the legend that is Upchuck. Thank God this alien girl came because Upchuck is one of his most clutch aliens. Kind of a whatever episode, but it's all in fun. So 7 out of 10. So you kind of noticed that I didn't talk that much about this season. That's probably because it's my least favorite season of the original Ben 10. I think it works for some things, but I think the absence of Kevin, Vilgax, and a few of the other aliens makes it a bit weaker in my opinion. I like Ghost Freak. I like the Halloween stuff, but it just doesn't hold the same emotional weight as the other ones do. Hopefully season 4 is a little better, but I would rank this as my least favorite of the seasons that we've covered.